What's going on, Shot Callers Nation? It's your boy Kyler back here with another video. Sorry for not uploading yesterday. I'm still unpacking, still basically getting everything organized from coming back from basic training. But enough talk about that. Let's just kick right into the video and what this video is going to be about, which is what I believe to be the Phoenix Suns not being a dynasty just yet. And I'll get to that point later in the video. The topic is going to be, do I believe that if the Phoenix Suns will become a dynasty for the next few years, if not next several years? And do I think it can be sustained, or what can they do in order to, let's say, to become the dynasty that I think they can have the potential to do, okay? So with that said, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat. If this is your first time being on this channel, hi, my name's Kyler, Shot Callers Podcast. We upload daily NBA videos twice a day. I'm looking forward to doing podcasts on the weekends. I'm going to start that soon at some point, not quite yet. We're going to get back into the groove of things. I'm trying to upload consistent videos to get myself back on the roll, okay? So the Phoenix Suns, okay? As of right now, they are currently in the NBA Finals, about to go into Game 6 tonight, which I'm going to be dropping a video on my reaction to that game, by the way. So stay tuned for that one tonight. That one is going to be very exciting because if you're not aware, the Bucks and the Suns, it's been a really good series. For anybody who says that this series has not been that good, you're wrong, okay? You're just flat out wrong. You need to go watch that series, okay? The crowd being back, it's phenomenal, okay? In case you weren't tracking, the Bucks home games, the crowd's exhilarating. It's awesome. The Suns, it pumps you up to see that. I'm glad that they're letting people back in the stadiums and stuff like that. And it feels great to finally feel that energy, and you can see it in the players as well. Devin Booker has been doing his thing. All right, I'm a huge Devin Booker fan. I guess I never really talked about him on this channel, but I've always been a huge Devin Booker fan. I love his game. Reminds me of Kobe, like everyone always says. I love his mid-range game, and I love his pull-up game and how smooth his shot looks. His form is so nice. There's nothing you can really do to affect his shot at he's like 6'5", too. That's the craziest thing about it, is that he knows how to get his shot up over a defender at that height, which is all the impressive. Now, I do understand. I will talk about some flaws, especially in the fourth quarter with Devin Booker, which I will bring up. But we'll get to that a little later as well. In case you were not tracking, the Suns are down 3-2 in the series. I do have the Bucks winning in 6. That was my prediction before the series started. I wasn't able to upload it because I was still at basic training. But that was my prediction, that the Bucks would win in 6. Right now, it's looking like that. The Bucks are going back home for Game 6. And I do think they will win that one. But if the Suns can force the Game 7, boy, will that be exciting. Okay? The keys for tonight, I think, is one, of course, everyone's talking about it, Chris Paul. He needs to show up like he did in Game 1 and 2. Not that he didn't show up in Games 3 through 5, but he could have played a lot better, cut down the turnovers, something that we're not used to seeing Chris Paul do. Another thing, they got to get their shoes the ball, okay? Jay Crowder has been shooting lights out throughout the playoffs, okay? He needs to keep that up. Cam Johnson needs to get more minutes and needs to get more touches. In case you weren't tracking, he's shooting above 50% from the field, and around 46 to 47% from three-point line. He needs to get more minutes. He needs to get more touches. DeAndre Ayton needs to be more aggressive on offense. It's just that plain simple. And the thing is that I've talked about this in a couple videos way back a few months ago. I'm not sure if that will likely happen. I'm not sure if any of these things will likely happen. But DeAndre Ayton needs to be more aggressive. Okay, it's just that plain simple. He also needs to stay out of foul trouble because he is the best chance for them to stop Giannis, even though he's not going to be stopped regardless. So that's kind of my keys for them in Game 6. Now, with that said, so I'll get to the dynasty part in a second. I know I'm already talking about Game 6. I'm already excited. The Devin Booker thing. So Devin Booker has been going crazy. Okay, he's had 2 40-point games. He's been amazing in this entire series. But the thing is that it's the assists, it's the distributing. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a great playmaker to lead your team, okay? I understand that Chris Paul being there, even though he hasn't been as great as we would like to see, Chris Paul is still a good player. You will always keep Chris Paul in the game, okay? He makes your team better. But Devin Booker in the fourth quarter, I forget what stat showed it. It was game 5 and game 4. I think it was just game 5, actually. My bad. He had 0 assists. And I do understand. I hate that using the term that assists determine how good of a playmaker you are, because that's just simply not true. But Devin Booker, it seems like, shows a lack of trust in his teammates, in my eyes, in that fourth quarter. And there's nothing wrong, because at the end of the day, you want the ball in his hands. There's no doubt about that. But at some point in time, like I said, I'll give you an example. When Drew Holiday got a key turnover through that lob to Giannis for the game 5 to seal the deal, I'm not saying Devin Booker did the wrong thing by driving it in. But let's say it seems like the ball movement in the fourth quarter for the Suns drastically slips towards the end of games. Whereas for the Bucks, that's the reason why they went on this 3-game winning streak. If you noticed, Giannis trusts his teammates more than ever. Okay, you can see that he has no problem giving the ball to Chris Middleton at the end of the game, giving the ball to Drew Holiday at the end of the game, trusting Pat Connaughton with dagger threes, such as when he drove kick into the corner, such as Pat Connaughton hitting clutch 3 after clutch 3. Such as Torrey Craig. Shoot, I just said Torrey Craig, my bad. Not Torrey Craig. Such as Brook Lopez coming up clutch on the defensive end. Things like that is what makes the Bucks win these next 3 games. And which is why I think they'll win this game 6. But for the Suns, it's concerning because I said if the Suns pull this off, I think it wouldn't shock me. It should not shock anyone, because I think the Suns are built to beat Milwaukee, because they're so galvanized. They're such an organized basketball team. They share the ball. They don't care who gets fed as long as they're all getting fed that W, if that makes sense. And that's the key thing for me. They play together. They swing the ball. It reminds me of a part of the San Antonio Spurs back in, I want to say that championship where they beat the Heat like 4-1 when LeBron was chasing that 3rd ring in Miami. It reminds me of that, because they have no problem sharing that ball. And I feel like in these last 3 games, especially towards the end of the game, like the last 5 to 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, I just haven't been seeing that consistently. And that's why I bring up Cam Johnson. Cameron Johnson has been amazing throughout the series. He doesn't look hesitant. He knows what he's doing on the defensive end. Sometimes he might look lost in it, but he's a rookie. But even so, then I think I'd rather see Cam Johnson out there than Torrey Craig, to be quite honest. I think I'd rather see Cam Johnson at times more than Mikal Bridges. Now, don't trust me, bro. Mikal Bridges has been fine this series. He's doing what he needs to do. But Cam Johnson, I don't see a reason why he can't be getting 30-plus minutes of the game. I understand that DeAndre Ayton has been in foul trouble a lot. I understand that, but I can't quite understand why he can't do that. Anyways, that's kind of my take on what the Suns can do for today. Now, for the dynasty part, I'm not sure if they're a true dynasty, and let me explain why again. So Chris Paul, if you're not tracking, he's kind of getting up there in age, probably around 36, 37 years old. The reason why I don't trust them to become a future dynasty, and I'm not going to bring up the injuries as being a problem. I think that's complete BS that people want to say injuries are the reason why the Suns are in the finals. Because at the end of the day, injuries happen, okay? They took advantage of that, and they're in the finals, plain and simple. I don't care. They were amazing in the regular season. They were the 2 seed. No one can fault them for doing what they did. It's impressive what they have been doing. But if I'm being honest with you, do I trust that they'll get back to the finals next year? No. I think a healthy Lakers team and a healthy Clippers team is still competing against them. I think a healthy Nuggets, my bad. I think with a healthy Jamal Murray, I think they could beat the Suns. And that's just kind of my take on that. I do believe if Chris Paul continues to stay, they'll keep competing at the top of the West. But when Chris Paul decides to leave or retire, that's what concerns me, because that's when Devin Booker is going to have to step up even more. I'm not saying that he can't do that. I fully trust that Devin Booker could give you 30 points every night. I legitimately think he could average 30, okay? But who's going to be that playmaker for that team? Because we have yet to see DeAndre Ayton step up into that dominant center that we wanted to see. And even if he is more of a finesse player, he can still be a dominant center in his own kind of way. Okay, he's been more impressive than he used to, like in his rookie season on the defensive end. He keeps making strides on that. As long as they keep Jay Crowder, that's fine. They need to sign Mikal Bridges back. They need to sign Cam Johnson back to good quality contracts. I think you could afford to overpay Mikal Bridges in a way because I think he brings a certain of 3D capabilities that you need for a championship roster. And I do believe that Mikal Bridges is going to continue to expand his offensive game. It's slowly coming along. I do believe that he can eventually get to around 18 points a game, which isn't bad at all. Being an off-ball player to Devin Booker, I think they complement each other really well, especially since Devin Booker is not the defender Mikal Bridges probably will be. But with that said, I do think that in order for this team to become a dynasty, they might have to pull off a trade. And I'm not sure what that trade is. I haven't really looked into that, and maybe I'll make a second video. Matter of fact, I will make a second video later throughout the week on what they can do, because I'm going to be doing a series once the finals is over on all 32 teams on what they can do to improve next season, on what they should look forward to doing. But if Chris Paul leaves, what are the Suns? Because in my opinion, I think they're a 8 to 10 seed around there. And that's not saying that Devin Booker can't get the job done, but let's not forget where the Suns were before Chris Paul got there. And Chris Paul's leadership has been really beneficial. Now, I do think the job that Monty Williams is doing has also been a huge factor. So I can't really put it all on Chris Paul's leadership or anything like that. And at the end of the day, it's the players that have to get the job done. But I do believe that if Chris Paul leaves within the next year or two, and they don't address that point guard issue, I'm not sure what they can do, because I don't think drafting a rookie point guard is going to fix that problem when they're in a win now mode with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton hitting their primes. So I do believe that it would come down to signing a free agent that will complement Devin Booker while getting enough pieces on their depth unit, on their bench unit. Maybe it requires a DeAndre Ayton trade in the future, where they can get an even better big man than DeAndre Ayton. So maybe slap on Ayton. When Jay Crowder becomes an expiring deal, so Jay Crowder's expiring contract in the future, DeAndre Ayton maybe a first-round pick. Maybe that can get you an all-star, superstar level center, something like that. That's just kind of something to consider when it comes to their future. So to ask the question, are the Suns a dynasty? No, not yet, but they can get there. They can get there, okay? At the end of the day, they're aging superstars. I think LeBron James is getting up there in age. We don't know what he's going to be like. Anthony Davis is injury-prone. The Nuggets, we keep saying, oh, they've arrived, but they really haven't yet. We're still waiting for them to get past that threshold. The Jazz, we thought they finally got it done, and then they didn't do it. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, Kawhi tore his ACL. Paul George alone in LA, that's not going to get it done. Portland, we already know what they are at this point. They're kind of capped on what their ceiling. So it's not like Phoenix can't do it in the West. And Golden State, we'll kind of see where they're at next year in a few years from now. It's not like they can't do it. I do think that they will be contenders from here on out. But will they be a dynasty? No, not yet. Okay. So with that said, that will conclude today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat. And with that said, shot callers out.